Hey y'all. A great philosopher and theologian once said, do or do not, there's no try. Now when I was younger, I came across this when I was younger. And when I was younger I was in the opposition position and I didn't understand, okay, how can you do something without trying to do it? How could that How could that be possible? Now, the man who said this was Grand Master Yoda of the Jedi Order, Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. And like I mentioned, that was in Luke Skywalker's business, and I didn't understand how that quote could be true. But now that I'm older, I think I understand it now. As a matter of fact, I know what Yoda was trying to get across, and it's very similar. It has the other biblical connotations, even though the Star Wars movies aren't specifically Christian, aren't catered to that demographic. But tells me to First Samuel 17:34. 34 through 35, but I want to focus on really 34, really 34 and maybe 36 for now. Um, but David said to Saul, your servant used to keep it for sheep, and when a lion or a bear came and took a lamb out of the flock, I went out after and struck it, and delivered the lamb from its mouth. And when it arose against me, I got it by his beard and struck it. Your servant has killed both the lion and bear. Now I want to stop right there. David did not kill lion and bear because of some lofty expectation. He didn't do it for any other reason than, well, shepherding and herding was his livelihood. They sold sheep at markets. They used their wool to make garments. It was a livelihood. I mean, they were probably more abundant back then than they are now, just based off the shepherd trade. But they weren't so abundant that you could just allow a lion or a bear to make off after it. I mean that cut into their monetary value, that cut into the profit margin. Like I say, this is what they have here. So if they outwon, they potentially out the customer. They out the business commodity. But let's look at the second part of verse 36. And this uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, seeing he defies the armies of the living God. Now I hope you caught this. I can't remember where I heard this from. This could even be a reading of scripture somewhere that I read. But when you do good with the small stuff, God will eventually give you the big stuff to watch over. I mean, God will give you more to watch over if you are faithful. If you are faithful with the small stuff, God was preparing David. God was putting the pieces in place just like he could be putting the pieces in place with you. David probably didn't think much of what he was doing, much of killing a lion or a bear. But back to Yoda's quote, I mean, anything that you do, especially for God, if you have the passion behind it, it's eventually gonna get done. I mean, you're just gonna do it. That's another quote. Just do it. That's the Nike slogan that I think is more than appropriate. If we're faithful in the small areas, like I say, and we recognize maybe pieces of the puzzle are being put together for a grander purpose, and we're faithful in that, maybe with no expectation, that God's gonna use it. Like maybe David wasn't. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't thinking, okay, I'm gonna kill a lion and a bear, then eventually I'm gonna kill a Philistine, I'm gonna kill thousands of Philistines, I'm gonna kill Goliath, I'm gonna be anointed king of Israel. He probably wasn't thinking that, he was just faithful in what God had given him. Anybody, regardless, and this is going back to Yoda's point too, anybody, regardless of whether they're Christian or not, has the potential to do great things. Now, ultimately, God wants you to do those great things for Him, but ultimately, anyone that has God's breath in them, which is everyone, has the potential to do great things. Even the stuff that you think isn't gonna matter, even stuff that you think, okay, I'm just gonna do this to pass the time, or I'm just gonna do this because it's what I have to do, or I'm just gonna do this because of any reason. I mean, if you're faithful in that, like I say, you watch over that. You watch over that like you're supposed to. Eventually, God is gonna give you more. You know, I've started telling my nephew, me and my nephew play video games the other time, and as you can imagine, for a 5-year-old, he gets very annoyed when he doesn't win. He's like, "Oh, I never win. I never do anything. I never can beat you." Even though specifically in a card video game, he's beaten me more times than I can count. But I just say, well, you just have to do it because I know that it'll happen because I've seen it. I've seen him do it before. If people lean on the word try a lot, I mean, I act, oh, I tried to do this, I tried to do that. Barring any physical limitations, like, for example, no matter how much I wanted to, if I even wanted to, no matter how much passion I have for it, I couldn't get up and, barring the miracle, I couldn't get up and walk across this room. I mean, because I'm in a wheelchair, it's just not practically possible. But, like I say, anyone with the Spirit of God has the potential for greatness, has the potential to do great things, has the potential to do even, has the potential to be faithful in the small stuff. And if you're faithful in the small stuff, God will see that, and God will reward you. I mean, God won't just forget where you are. God won't just forget the effort you put in. God will be faithful to you if you're faithful to Him. God will honor you if you honor Him, because ultimately God does love you more than anything. I mean, He loved you even to the point that He would send His Son to die for you, because He wants a relationship with you that bad. Just as God is in control of the storms, God can calm the storm, but most importantly, God will be with you through the storm. God will be faithful and just. If you're faithful and just with Him and you're a good steward, I always say steward, but you're a good steward of what He's given you, and ultimately you will multiply it. Now, not all the time, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you'll be a king of Israel like David, or you'll be great like Paul, or these heroes of old. But I am saying God won't abandon you. God won't forget you. God will be faithful to you in whatever way He wants and whatever way He desires, because you are faithful to Him. He just put in the pieces in place, and it's our job to be faithful and to be patient and to be good stewards of those separate pieces, because ultimately when God is done, we're gonna see a masterpiece. Guys, I love you. God bless you. I'll see you next week.